What's good, y'all? It's your boy Def Finesse, back at y'all with another TDF perspective.
It's to die for.
All right, look, brothers. One thing that I can say I've personally realized as I've gotten older is that it really doesn't matter how you carry yourself as a so-called black man, or really in my case as an African man in this country. People are always going to force whatever perception they have of you or of our demographics. Whatever piss poor perception they have, they're just going to force it on you. So you got to kind of learn to just accept the inferior position people have you in their minds. Now, I'm not saying you go out of your way and try to figure out a way to make people like you. I'm just saying you just got to be wary. Be wary that with some people, they don't care how you carry yourself as an individual. They're gonna judge you based off of the actions of other people in our demographics. And we're about to see that in this video right here. I watched a little bit of it. Basically, this brother right here got pulled over for his car air freshener. At least that's what the cop that pulled him over alleges. That he pulled him over for the car air freshener, but you already know some other shit. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste no more time talking. Let's just jump right into it. Let's peek the game.
Like I said, he stopped me. Let's see before.
Morning, sir.
How you doing, man?
You got your license, registration, insurance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any weapons in the car?
Nope.
Okay.
Can I get it from my glove box?
Yeah, please.
Can I ask you why you stopped me?
So you can't have anything hanging from your rearview mirror. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it obstructs the driver's view.
I don't know. I don't know the law books front to back. But that just sounds like some bullshit. You can't have anything hanging from your rearview mirror. This cop right here is on some bullshit.
Basically, it changes their perception and can cause an accident. So they don't want anybody having anything hanging from there. So if you have like a GPS or something, it actually needs to be in the lower 5 inches, either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the windshield.
So you stopped me for my car air freshener?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I actually sell cars for a living, and I've been here for 8 months. I work with cops. I work with everybody.
Do you sell cars with window tint?
Nah, I sell cars with everything. I sell cars at Anderson.
Notice how as soon as this brother right here calls the cop on his bullshit, the cop immediately switches it to window tint. So now that's going to be the issue.
So window tint.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you sell cars that have window tint?
Yes.
Okay, so window tint on the driver window and the passenger window. And I don't think I've ever seen you guys sell it on the windshield.
Yeah.
But I've seen you guys sell dark tint.
We get dark
It's illegal.
tint.
So
So
you can sell it.
yeah.
It doesn't mean it's in compliance with all the traffic laws.
So did you stop me for the front tent, or did you stop me for this?
No. It's the front's not tinted, is it?
Yeah, it got the visor.
Oh, just the
yeah.
visor. So that's legal. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying is that you sell cars all the time that have window tint that's darker than it.
So yeah, it's clear that this officer obviously has a preconceived notion. He wants to pin something on this brother right here. He wants to force something on you. And this is a phenomenon. If you pay attention, you'll see this even in your personal life. Like I remember with me just growing up in school, I was always in the quote unquote advanced classes. And for the most part, I was always the only so-called black person in that class, really Ghanaian person. And yeah, I noticed how it didn't really matter how respectful I was to everybody, how generous I was. Yeah, that it didn't matter. People always wanted to force whatever piss poor perception of so-called black people they had been inundated with from the media. They wanted to force that on me. So if something came up missing, or somebody made a rude remark or anything negative, they tried to attribute that to me. So me growing up, I was already mentally prepared or mentally understood what this society was really about as far as race is concerned. And you see the same exact phenomenon right here. You've pulled this brother over. Obviously, there's nothing wrong. Instead of just apologizing as a man and just keeping it moving, you're now asking all these random questions trying to get something. And that's one thing we got to watch out for, especially you young brothers. You know, you got to be wary of it. Like I said before the video, just be wary of it. Don't let it get you down. Don't feel bad, you know, that people look at you with a certain level of disdain, but just peep the game and finesse accordingly. You understand that that's how they're looking at you, so now you got to finesse accordingly. You got to maneuver a certain way. You have the edge on them. That's how you got to look at it.
It should be. Have you ever sold a lifted truck?
Yes.
Did it have mud flaps on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got my boss number. I could call him right now because I've been here for 8 months. I've never got stopped for anything like that.
Okay. Well, it is against the law, but basically, just because you guys sell it doesn't mean that it's.
And we give them these for when they get a car. So that against the law too.
It's not the tree that's illegal. It's where you have it hung.
So
for instance, if you have it hung on your shifter knob, it's out of your view. Still makes the car smell nice. See what I'm saying? You got your license, registration, insurance, please?
Yes, sir. My license is behind my phone.
Anything you know about my car, man?
No. I'm legit, man. That's why I'm like.
What are you asking?
Registration, insurance, please?
Yes, sir. My license is behind my phone.
Anything you know about my car, man?
No. I'm legit, man. That's why I'm like. I never get stopped. I got my cards in there.
Okay. Any marijuana in the car?
Nope.
Look at that. So now he's asking if he has any drugs. See, this brother has displayed no actions that will indicate that he has any kind of drugs, any kind of weapons on him, but still the cop is asking all these questions. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because this is the image he has of so-called blacks in his subconscious. Hell, even probably even in his conscious mind. So he's actively trying to force that on this brother right here. And that's what I'm saying. When you're in these different situations and when you're outside out in public, when you're in these different situations, you have to be very, very, very cognizant of that. A lot of people are going to put on that smile and try to act very cordial with you, but deep down, they have a piss poor perception of you. And if you don't peep that, you're the one that's going to get stabbed in the back. And you know how this society's judicial system is. You know how the media is. They're going to demonize you, the so-called black man. Let's continue.
You smoke marijuana?
No. Is there a reason for all these questions?
So you asked me about my laws, and while I'm standing here and you're doing all this, I ask my normal questions.
I never got asked questions about this because of a tree stop.
I ask everybody for every single time I stop them.
And that's how they'll play it. Oh, no, I do this to everybody. No, I'm not singling you out. I do this to everyone. Oh, no, I do this to everybody. See what I'm saying? You got to see right through that shit. See right through it. Somebody makes one racist remark, two racist remarks, you got to understand what their mindset is. That doesn't mean that's your cue now to go above and beyond and prove to this person that you're a different black person. You're a different black guy. You're not like the rest, or you're not like the other Africans. That's not your job, okay? Not your job to go above and beyond and prove yourself to an average individual, really to any individual, okay? It's not your job. Just peep the game.
I'm gonna have this.
It's your car?
Yes.
Okay. 930 of 19, 18. It's a nice car. Hold on to that for me. That's current. And are you still living at 35? Okay. Mr. Cobra, when's the last time you did smoke marijuana?
I never smoked. I
Never?
just said that.
Okay.
See that? The cop isn't even paying attention. He's so dead set and so focused on pinning this kid for something. He's not even paying attention to the conversation at hand. He should have been let this brother go, but you already know how this goes.
Alright. Hang on here for a sec, okay?
It's the worst when you have something to do and you get pulled over like this, man, because they waste so much of your time. So much of your time.
So you obviously can see this is what we do. I said I never smoked. Said I don't smoke, don't got anything in the car. I'm showing y'all that he was following me for 20 minutes. This is crazy. I'm not gonna tell him I'm videotaping either. I'ma just show the courts, show anybody.
Damn, followed you for 20 minutes. I don't know if I would have kept driving. I would have parked somewhere or something. 20 minutes of being followed? Oof, man. Like, I remember one time, this was like when I was like, maybe 17 or 18. And I was coming out the gym. And I went straight to my car. At the time, I was driving a Ford Focus that my father had gotten me. And I got into it. And when I got into it, it was in the lot, of course. And all the way on the other side of the lot, I just saw this cop staring at me. And I remember thinking in my head, what if this guy's just watching me? So I got in my car real fast and started driving off. And as soon as I pulled out the lot, he was pulling out right behind me. And then I got to a stoplight. I hit a right, I hit a wide turn, and the lights went off. His sirens went off or whatever. I pulled over. He came, he got my insurance, and then he said something about what did he say? He said something like he wanted to make sure the car wasn't stolen or something. There's been a history of break-ins or some shit. And I was like, wow, this cop really thinks I would break into a Ford Focus. But it's just little silly things like that. This society, well, you got to understand, just the brain thinks associatively. So if the society goes out of its way, or the media goes out of its way to attach nothing but negative stereotypes, and negative stereotypes to so-called black men, then you got to understand all these different demographics outside of the so-called black community, they're going to feed off of these stereotypes. They're going to believe it. So when you purposefully go out of your way to ingratiate yourself with people outside of the demographic, whatever you get, you deserve, man. You get what I'm saying? This is a game. You got to peep the game and finesse accordingly. You got to move a certain way. You a tiger in the zoo, man. You're not in the jungle. You can't do whatever you want. You got to really think about what you're doing. Really be tireless. Really be deft. And have finesse. You got to.
You said there's no weapons in the car?
Nope.
Okay, do me a favor, relax, man. You're still 10 and 2.
Well, because this is what we learn from where I'm from. This is what we do.
This is what you learned from who, I'm sorry?
Where I'm from.
Okay. May I ask where you're from?
See, you see how the cop is acting completely oblivious, as if none of his actions are making this brother, a little nervous or a little uncomfortable. You pull somebody over, you pull the so-called black man over, and then you tell him you're pulling him over because of the tree that's hanging from his rearview mirror. And then you're asking him, does he have drugs on him? Then you're asking if he has any weapons on him. Who the hell is not going to be nervous at that point? It's clear as day you're trying to pin something on him, and let's just be honest, you're a crooked cop. It's clear as day. And on top of all of that, you were following him for 20 minutes. 20 minutes before you finally pulled him over. Any so-called black man in his right mind in this situation is going to feel nervous. Or at the very least, a little uneasy. But see, the cop is playing the little game that white folks love to play. He's acting like he doesn't know what he's doing. It's kind of like those of you that are in classes and you deal with people, specifically so-called whites and so-called Asians, that want to be racist. They always play the card of, I don't know I'm being racist. I don't know what I'm saying is offensive. I'm just asking a question. That's their playbook. That's their entire playbook, man. A passive-aggressive playbook. It's your fault you feel that way. I'm not trying to do anything. Let's continue.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
So this is what we do. So if you don't mind, this is where I'm relaxed at.
Okay. Can I have you hop out? I just have a couple more questions for you, and I want to speak to you man to man, so that way you're not doing this and I'm leaned over.
Okay. Can
I want to speak to you man to man.
Yeah, dude. Try to relax a little bit, man.
Because it's like, I got...
Either way, you say, yeah, dude. Yeah, man, come on, man. Like, you a crooked cop, man. If he's done something wrong, hurry up, give him his citation and let him be on his way. Nobody's trying to stop and talk to the police for however long this situation has been going on. I'm assuming 10, 15 minutes before the camera started rolling. It's like, what the fuck wrong with this cop? He's trying to make friends or some shit.
I got stopped for my tree.
Let me hear this bullshit again.
Can I unfasten my seatbelt?
Yeah, dude. Like, try to relax a little bit, man. I mean,
Cause it's like I got stopped for my tree.
So he's saying that try to relax shit. See, that's another thing that you younger brothers really gotta be aware of. A lot of these so-called white people out here, they either act like either they understand that racism exists and they ignore it, or they try to act completely oblivious to it, or they truly don't believe that it exists. You get what I'm saying? Either way, they're not on your side. That's the bottom line. So he's telling this guy to relax, and he's telling this guy to relax and be easy, as if there hasn't been reports in the news of cops killing innocent so-called black kids. You know what I'm saying? Or there hasn't been a history of cops planting evidence on so-called black men. You get what I'm saying? He's telling him, oh, come on, man, just relax. And once you relax, it's checkmate. You going straight to prison, man. Always be on your toes. Always be wary. Always be deft. That's what deft means, man. You got to be calculated, very observant, very strategic.
two cell phones?
Yeah.
What phone? Yeah, that's those cars, huh? May I ask where you headed to?
Going to Parker to see my dad.
What's your dad do for a grip?
Can I ask why you have to be on this?
So, Mr. Cobra, I don't think you're being completely honest with me. Okay. I've been doing this for several years now. Okay. You seem kind of nervous, and you've been shaking a little bit, and I don't know if it's just because you have a bad experience.
So now the officer's trying to use him being nervous as an excuse for doing all. See, the officers are trying to cover his tracks now. He's using the brother being nervous as an excuse as to why everything he's doing is justified.
Experience with cops, but your nervousness and other things I'm seeing shows me either signs of deception or something else is going on.
My dad works under King Judge. His name is Phil Colbert.
Okay.
He works director executive for various nations.
Okay.
So all of this, man, I'm gonna talk to the King Judge. I'm gonna talk to Tiffany over there. Are you with Parker or are you with Havison?
I'm with the Las Vegas Sheriffs.
Okay, cool. And I'll be talking to them too, man. This is just, I just think it's ridiculous how you make me do all of this. What?
I do this on every traffic stop.
You take everybody out on every traffic
Yes.
stop?
Yeah, he wastes 20 minutes following everybody, and then he pulls them over, and then he wastes 10 to 15 more minutes asking useless questions. You see the games that these a lot of these so-called white folks like to play, or really just authority figures, people that have authority over so-called black people. But let me skip ahead a little bit and see if he comes back on camera.
Basically just, they're called divided attention tests.
Can I record this?
You can absolutely record, and it is being recorded as well.
Cool, man. This is crazy.
The reason I want to put you through sobriety tests is your eyes kind of look a little bit glossy.
Really?
And some people just have.
Man, so now he's making him take a test. He wants to pin him for something. You see what I'm saying, brothers? He followed this man for 20 minutes. He's like, fuck out of here. I'm not finna just let you walk. I gotta pin something on you. Get you for something. Some people are evil like that, man.
Have that glossiness. Okay? That's why we do these tests to
What's your name, man?
Yeah, sorry, Emacs. It's just where I put my hand.
And that's another thing. That's one thing I really hated in school too. They do this bullshit, this racist shit, and then they try to talk to you in a friendly tone. They try to talk to you like your buddies and like your pals and shit. So they can't even be directly racist with you. If you recall, he was the one that suggested that the brother get out of the car so they could do what? Talk man to man. What part of this is being a man? You're using your authority, using your badge, you're using your gun to play all these all these little different games with this brother right here. And then you got the nerve to talk to him like y'all are pals. The fuck out of here.
So I'm recording, man. I'm trying to be cool with you, but
Cool.
I don't think you're being completely honest with me.
Okay. So when this all goes through and you see I'm good and you see that I don't got nothing and you see that I'm legit, what happens? I just go about my day. You just wasted 30 minutes of my time and you just. So I'm a definitely. Who's your sheriff? Who's on top of you? So I can write this down.
You can request it through my agency, but it's gonna be Sheriff Risen's the sheriff.
Cool, man.
So do you mind doing some field sobriety test, man? Make sure you're okay to drive real quick. Honestly, you say 30
Make sure
minutes.
that you're
It'll take
okay.
me 5.
Man, I don't see what's the I don't see what's the point.
Because I don't think you're being completely honest with me.
Okay.
Whether
See that it's in his subconscious mind. He just doesn't trust so-called blacks. So even when he's in the presence of an honest so-called black man, he can't accept it. His subconscious mind won't allow him to accept it. You get what I'm saying? That's why us young brothers, especially us young brothers, we have to be wary of this shit. We gotta be tireless, we gotta be deft, and we gotta have finesse. You gotta be 30,000 steps ahead of everybody else. Okay? I mean, this young brother really just has had a lot of time just wasted.
you smoked a few days ago.
I didn't smoke. I don't smoke.
Nothing at all.
I don't smoke.
Okay. No other illegal drugs?
Of course we in a. No.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No. I don't need it because I don't smoke.
Okay.
First, we in a place where I don't got no connection. Man, I don't honestly see the point. I don't honestly see the point. Because I got my business cards, you can call my boss. You can legit call my dad. Like, what's the point? If you honestly really want to do that, like, I feel like this is against my rights. Honestly.
So
this is
it's
crazy.
your right to refuse.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Pope, I'm trying to be upfront with you. Okay. I don't care about your race.
Notice every time the cop says, I'm trying to be this with you, it's always a lie. It's actually, everything the cop says is actually what the brother's doing. I'm trying to be cool with you. The brother's actually trying to be cool with the cop. I'm trying to shoot it straight with you. The brother's actually shooting it straight with the cop. And the cop is doing the exact opposite of what he's saying. Notice that.
Race, your gender, your anything.
You don't care about. You don't care about my.
I'm here enforcing laws.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, when you're handing me your
But no laws are being broken. Ain't that a bitch? He said, I'm here enforcing laws. But he pulls over the guy that hasn't broken any laws and happens to be so-called black in a toxically racist society. And then tries to demonize that man for acting quote-unquote nervous. You see the games here? Y'all get what I'm saying? It's nothing but a big fucking game, a big fucking joke to most of these so-called white folks. Hell, the so-called Asians, everybody besides the so-called blacks and the Africans that are growing up in this country. Nobody's going to take these issues as serious as we will. That's why I gear this channel towards the so-called black man and us African men. Because we're the only ones that really understand what's going on, because we're the only ones that have been placed at the bottom of the social hierarchy up here. This cop has wasted so much of this kid's time. So much. And this brother can't do nothing about it. You can just be mad, but ain't nothing gonna happen.
documents, what I saw was nervousness. Okay. Like I said, is that from Philadelphia, just kind of where you were raised, and maybe you're just you just don't like cops to begin with.
You like
Or
gonna
is it
beat this
deceptive?
nigga ass.
So, dude, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to talk to you in a man-to-man aspect, and I'm not trying to treat you any differently than anybody else I've ever come across.
See, for him to say that shows that, yeah, that's what he was doing. He was treating them differently from anybody he had ever came across. But yeah, man, brothers, that's pretty much the end of the video. No matter where you are, whether it be classrooms, whether it be work, whether it be a party, whatever dynamic you're in, you got to be very, very swift. I like to use the word deft. That's what's in the title of this channel. You got to be tireless, you got to be deft, and you got to have finesse. Okay? You got to really, really pay attention. In other words, peep the game. Don't just peep the game and then complain. No, peep the game and then finesse accordingly. Once you understand what you're dealing with, deal with it accordingly. Okay? If you know there's a snake in the grass, don't go walk through the grass and then get mad when you get bit. You understand? I guess that's it. That's all I really had to say about this video. You guys make sure y'all are peeping the game and finessing accordingly. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe out there. And I'm out.